What's up, people? It's Adam D. This is kind of a weird video today. It's about Anthem, but it's gonna be my first rant, and I don't even think I'm gonna edit this. I think I'm just gonna shoot it straight off the dome so I can explain to you guys what I'm thinking, because I just have to vent about this game. Full disclosure, I'm gonna be releasing some guides and stuff, and some endgame builds. And if you like, comment, subscribe, then you can enter a giveaway that will give you a free copy of the game. I think I'm going to do it soon because now we're at 200 subs. The army's grown. But that is not the point of this video. The point of this video is for me to be totally honest about the state of Anthem and what Bioware is doing to just destroy their game in every way possible. Like, it blows my mind. And I have to just get it out. I have to get it out. For doing the highest difficulties in the game, you are getting grays, greens, and blues for wasting hours of your time. I cannot wrap my head around why on earth they would do this. Like, it doesn't make any sense on any scale whatsoever that a normal person would think, my game is getting slaughtered by reviewers. I have 3 strongholds that people can do an endgame for months. Let's remove the one thing that is keeping people distracted, and that is getting cool gear. What are you thinking, Bioware? Like, what are you thinking? Like, why would you ever do that? If you took the launch of The Division, which was a disastrous launch, okay? Let me say this story, and you tell me if it sounds familiar to what is happening with Anthem right now, okay? AAA game is hyped up. We see great cinematics for it at E3. Everyone's excited. They can't wait for this game to be released. Community develops on subreddits, on forums, on YouTube, whatever. Everyone is excited for this game. Anybody who's sharing, sketchy thoughts about this game is kind of pushed away because everyone's so excited. This game can do no wrong. Game gets released. People play through the game. It's fine for a day. People get to endgame because we're competitive. That's why you're here. There's no endgame. And getting loot is like having a full-time second job. So what do people do? Players, because everybody wants loot, you take the fastest way to loot, right? We're like mice with cheese. You take the fastest route to the cheese. So players start farming specific areas that just have a higher chance of getting this thing to drop. They farm bosses that may be buggy and drop higher chances of loot. They use exploits that developers didn't patch out to try and speed up missions to get loot faster. And it kind of puts the fact that there's no content in the game to the wayside because they're getting cool stuff that they can show off to their friends. It makes them feel powerful, right? The developers see this and they say, oh no, this isn't how we wanted the game to be played. You guys can't get loot like this. We don't want you doing this. You're having fun, but like, this isn't the way that we want you to have fun. So we're going to patch all of this stuff. We're going to cut this out. We're going to make it so loot drops are significantly reduced. And that way you'll feel more rewarded if you spend a month getting one piece of gear rather than getting showered with gear, and maybe some of the gear isn't lackluster. That way you're playing the game how we wanted it to be played, and not the way that's fun. So what did the players do? They went and they played the game and enjoyed it blissfully. No, they didn't do that. They left. They fucking left. They left those games. Now, you might be wondering, oh, what game are you referring to? And I'm referring to Anthem. I'm referring to The Division. I'm referring to Destiny 2 at launch, somewhat. I'm referring to Diablo 3 a little bit after launch. Every single one of those games. It's the exact same story. Division, it just happened like 2 years ago. Division gets released. They release this content. The company behind it, Massive, thought, hey, this is what we want you to do. Everyone left that game. Division was dead for 9 friggin' months. 9 months, this game just died, okay? But they had a development team that stuck by them and like kept trying to make stuff, and like after 9 months they realized, yo, what if we just listened to what the community was saying, shower them in gear, and like make them just grind it out for like the min-max rolls? And then what happens? Everybody came back to the Division. The game blew up, got so much better. It was the first game where I ever quit it and then came back to it and like really loved the new concept. It was great. You got showered in loot, you got showered in dope stuff, and then you just had to grind for like the little stat things that you wanted to make the perfect builds. And people loved it. Okay? Same thing with Diablo. Diablo, they went and they introduced Loot 2.0. I think that's what it was called, because people were not getting gear. And so they went from complaining about not getting gear to, having discussions about which stats in the gear that they were getting were supposed to be, top of the line. Every single one of these games, they did a 180, gave people tons of loot, and let them go for the min-max version of it, right? They went for the best in slot version. And for some reason, Anthem releasing in 2019, they just ignore it. They just ignored all of that. They said, no, guys, this is the way that we want to play. This is how we're going to do it. And it's just like, it's so mind-blowing. Like, I don't understand. Like, they're literally torpedoing their game worse than it already is. And it can't get worse. It really can't. There's only 3 strongholds, people. There's only 3. I'm enjoying playing the game because it's just cool. You can dress up your dude in whatever weird Iron Man cosplay you want to do. And you get cool abilities. You can play with your buddies. But, I'm not going to spend 2 hours to get one piece of gear and everything else is just great. When there's it exacerbates all of the problems with Anthem, all the things that the reviewers are saying. It just makes it so much worse when everyone feels not rewarded for playing your game. It's ridiculous. It makes no sense that a company in 2019 who is in the looter shooter space doesn't look at Destiny, doesn't look at the Division and say, hey, people are playing those games. Why don't we just kind of take that loot style and transition it into our game? You literally have developers who created the loot system for Diablo 3, a different game made by a different company, posting on the Anthem subreddit what Anthem needs to do for their loot. This is a totally separate game developer making this post. It's mind-blowing. What are you doing, Bioware? Fix your game. Fix it. There's no amount of content that you can you can't nerf drop rates in a hope that it somehow extends the life of your game. It doesn't work. There are only 3 strongholds. There's nothing that is going to make people think that there's more content than 3 strongholds. There just isn't. There's no way. The only way is to just give people loot. Let them play. Let the YouTube content creators go and be able to make a bunch of different guides about the loot and share builds. Let people share different roles that they got. That is what makes these games successful, and that's what makes people keep playing them, even in content droughts, right? Anthem doesn't have PvP. In the bad times of Destiny and the Division, at bare minimum, they had PvP to just kind of keep people interested if they enjoy the PvP aspect. Anthem doesn't have that, and its PvE endgame is non-existent. So it's you have to nail this. And I said it in my previous video. These games are made or broken at launch. Okay? This is going even faster than the Division because there's so much less content. Right? I am essentially, I'll show you clips of my character. He's at 488, 490 right now. The max is 500, but nobody really has 500 because you need all legendaries and it's just not possible. I have only played the game for, about 36 hours. And granted, I'm a hardcore player. I'm competitive, so I'm trying to do the best that I can. I race to endgame and do all this stuff. But even for people that aren't hardcore, the story missions are not that long. People are going to get there. The people that make these games last forever are the content creators, the hardcore players, and even, usually it's PvPers and some casuals that like the game. But the problem is that if you go and you keep doing this, Bioware, and you don't revert these loot nerfs, all of the content created for this game will go down the tubes. All of the hardcore players will stop playing, which means they're less hardcore casual friends will stop playing too. They will all migrate. Division 2 is coming in 3 weeks, and that development team has shown that they know what they made, what mistakes they made in the first game, and they're continuing to improve on it in the second game. In their demo, they had endgame. They showed more endgame in Division 2 demo than Anthem has in the full release of the game. Okay? And they also have PvE and PvP, and it's a looter shooter. And the developers know that they know how to that they have to listen to the community. They've already been through it. Anthem will not survive that unless there's some drastic changes. Drastic changes. And I just hope that Bioware is not stupid and reverts these drop rates before it's too late, right? There's nothing that's going to save the longevity of this game because there just isn't any longevity. I don't know what Bioware was doing for 7 years when this game was supposedly being developed, but the fact that you have a 100% PvE based game and there's basically 3 dungeons with increasing difficulties of bullet sponge, like, I don't know if they were just making a flight simulator for 6 years and then decided to turn it into Anthem on the 6th year or what, but like, the game, the foundation is great, but it needs more of everything. And these loot changes will straight up destroy this game faster than you have ever seen a game be destroyed ever, period. Like, I thought that my previous video about Anthem being in trouble, like, I was hoping that it wasn't going to end up being true. I was hoping they were going to make some changes. They didn't. And I still enjoy playing the game. And I still like making content for the game. But there's not enough content in the game to make content for the game. There just isn't. And once people, I mean, I'm not a big YouTuber. Once big YouTubers stop making content for a game, it falls off the map. It really does. As much as people don't want to admit it, it just does. Social media plays such a huge role in the success of these games now. I mean, you saw with Fortnite and Ninja playing with Drake. Like, it just blows my mind what Bioware is doing. And I really hope that they fix their mistake. Because if they make it so people get showered in loot, then people will continue to play this game, maybe past the point where they should, honestly. The game could be great in the future. Right now, it's fun for about 24 to 48 hours of hardcore play and playing with your friends. But once you have, once you've gone and spent 2 hours in a Grandmaster 2 or 3, and you get one Masterwork drop and a bunch of grays and blues, you want to toss your Xbox out the window. Bioware, please. Please, please, please change the loot drop rates. What are you doing? It's just like, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I had to vent that. I had to get it out. I created this channel to be honest with you guys about everything that I'm feeling. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't even think I'm gonna edit this. Anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. Thank you so much for listening to my rant, even if you didn't listen to all of it. Please like, comment, subscribe down below. I'm going to be releasing a bunch of endgame Anthem content because I was able to get some of the higher drop rate stuff. I've got some cool storm builds, some cool interceptor builds, and I'm going to keep releasing content that you guys want to see. It just really bums me out because I had high hopes for this game. But, I looked at it as a pessimist. I looked at it as what could possibly go wrong. And in my last video, I kind of showed you, what there is to be fearful of in terms of the endgame content. And it looks like I was right. Please, keep watching. Let me know what you think. It just kind of bums me out. I like the game. I like playing it with my friends. But the game's been out for 2 days on console, and I've already gotten friends that are like, yo, this is boring. Like, what else is there to do? Like, I'm not getting any loot drops. So it just sucks. I'm really hoping that they turn it around. But I'm still going to be giving you guys content. So please subscribe. Adam D out.